242 days. That's how many days we have to get as many SBA loan approvals as possible for small business owners looking to take advantage of these monumental SBA enhancements. So, what's the best way to build your pipeline? We break it down. Hey, thanks for joining the Art of SBA Lending. Hard to believe, but January is already in the books. And as we head into the start of what's expected to be one of the most active years ever for SBA lending, it may be a good time to take a look at your overall business development philosophy. I remember when I was starting out, my sales manager would preach getting to 10 strong referral source relationships feeding you your business. 10. Now, he'd been a BDO in the 90s and early 2000s, and we're talking around 2012, 2013 timeframe. And so I was brand spanking new to the industry, and I took that as gospel. And to this day, it's still in my head as sort of the gold standard. The idea is that you just need to focus your efforts on nurturing just 10 relationships, and that they are just as dependent on you as you are on them. Now, of course, that's not as true today. And now I have hundreds of referral sources. See, finding an SBA specialist has gotten a lot easier and easier, and that's thanks to technology. So that's definitely different today and probably should impact your strategy. So if a broker has 100 options at their fingertips instead of just maybe 3 or 5 like back in the day, it sort of shifts the balance of power. Now you're having to actually go out and sell and explain to these folks how you can provide tremendous value to them and to their clients. Now, just like COIs have access to virtually every SBA lender in the country, you have access to every COI in the country. And that's necessary because you need to cast a wider net in this type of environment. And thanks to technology, you can speak to these folks a bunch of different ways with the click of a button. You can communicate your value to them through email blasts, through LinkedIn, webinars, virtual conferences, Facebook groups, podcasts, YouTube, Clubhouse. You get the idea. I'd suggest that you don't need 10 referral sources. I think you need 100. I think focusing on your top 100 is manageable, and perhaps you have thousands of contacts, and that's okay because the rest of those folks can be placed on some sort of drip campaign and they'll be exposed to your marketing efforts and possibly rotate into your top 100 down the road, but the top 100 is going to get more personal contact from you. Now, how do you keep 100 COIs happy? Simple. Execute. You don't have to take them golfing. You don't have to take them to lunch every week. You just need to execute. When they send you a deal or a client, you jump on it. You get them feedback within 24 hours or less. When you have a deal that actually fits, you execute and communicate throughout the entire process. And you make the experience so awesome that they make you or keep you as their go-to source for SBA lending. If you execute like a trained assassin, they will keep you. Anything less than that, mediocre service, even if something doesn't go horribly wrong, but it's just like whatever, they'll just try another lender next time because why not? Now, no one can do every deal, so if you can't do it, they aren't just going to tell their client no like they may have 10 or 20 years ago because they've exhausted all their resources. They're going to keep searching and searching, and eventually it'll get done with another lender. And that's why it's critical that you choose the types of COIs that are involved mostly with the types of transactions that your shop is closing and training them on your credit guidelines so that they can have the benefit of vetting those deals up front. So if you're saying no, it's hopefully because of a reason that you've already communicated to them as one of your lending guidelines. But if you can't get it done, just know that they will go elsewhere to a backup lender. And so your relationship's going to constantly be challenged and tested by the competition. And there's nothing you can do about that. That's just part of it. But you can try to set yourself up for success. Now, some of my referral sources are pretty loyal, but I'm not stupid. If there's a better product out there, I fully expect them to use them over me. And that's why I work so hard to provide such a high level of service that they don't want to go elsewhere. I'm constantly paranoid. It's one of my biggest strengths. The type of loyalty that our forefathers might have had is dead. Now it's all about points. Any referral source with any type of volume behind them is looking to get paid as much as possible. Nothing wrong with that. But different shops are paying different percentages now, and it provides a concrete differentiator between lenders that COIs are going to use to compare different shops to one another. And if you're like most lenders and you just pay 1%, just realize that others might be paying more. So do yourself a favor. Be very clear about what you're offering, aside from a fee, whether it's a more aggressive structure, better rates, bigger credit box, or whatever, so that the COI can put it all into context. Because they are smart. They aren't just going to go with the highest bidder simply because they're paying the biggest fee, but it is a major factor. Now, chances are, if you do have any major referral sources representing a significant portion of your business, you're probably doing it at a skinnier margin, meaning you're paying that source an above average fee, and the upside there would be that you can be more efficient just working with that one person, but the downside is that you're making less income on each deal, and you run the risk of concentration. Just like we analyze a business's customer concentration, if a significant portion of your volume is coming from one place, just know that there's risk to that. So the 10 sources thing is dead. It's dead because technology has forced it to be dead, but it's also dead because technology has enabled it to be dead. Technology has changed everything over the last decade. We can be everywhere now. We can provide valuable content for free. We don't need to buy a billboard. We don't need to take out a newspaper ad. We can literally talk to 10,000 people with the click of a button. Loyalty is dead. Most people are inherently loyal, but it isn't going to get you very far in today's environment. You need to communicate your value and execute. Referral fees are a hot topic, and if you can't compete there, you should pivot your business development strategy away from brokers. Execution is the new golf. If you're taking 5 days to respond to an email, I'm eating your lunch by 11 a.m. That's just the way it is. The bar's been raised, folks, and this year might be the most competitive year in history. We have more major enhancements to the SBA programs than what followed the Great Recession, without the widespread devastation, meaning more businesses should qualify. Everyone's revenue was down in 2009, but here it's more segmented based on industry and what part of the country the business is in. So this year is going to be bananas, so suit up, don't get complacent, never stop trying to improve, and never stop listening to the art of SBA lending.